What's up now? How's everybody doing? Your girl is alive. I'm here. Let me make sure, Mom. Give me a second. Y'all know how I do. Uh, what's everybody getting into? Happy Sunday. I forgot to turn them stuff down. Okay, close this business. Close. Here. I'm the only one here, but hey. I don't know if y'all can hear the music or not. Wow. Ooh, I just ain't really been feeling it lately, y'all, but I got time today to talk about this one. Um, Tell Them You Love Me. It's on the Netflix. Somebody was telling me about it the other day. Well, I heard about it the other day on social media. And I had to go check it out on Friday, y'all. Y'all got to check this thing out. I'm going to wait a second before I get to running my mouth. Just a minute. See if all four of y'all show up. I'm waiting on all four of y'all to show up before I get to running. How's everybody's weekend going? Good? All right. I'm all right over here. It's hot. That's why you hear a fan in the background. Big girls be hot. We need circulation. It's hot. Ba, ba, ba. Damn, I went live in so long. All these. I hope I don't. I'm so nervous, y'all. I don't know why. I'm just sitting right here in my room. Like, I don't know why I'm so nervous. But I'm so nervous because it's been so long. All right. One more. I'm waiting for one more person, and all four of y'all will be here. And I can just start running out with the mouth. I'll just start going. I'll go. Okay, so this is a documentary on Netflix. You can find it. The story is about a man named Derek Johnson, who was born with cerebral palsy and some other things, I believe, but he was deemed, mentally retarded at birth. He was nonverbal. He wasn't able to walk. Definitely can't use the bathroom on his own or feed himself, anything. This is a black man. That's important to the story also. So I have to say that. So this is a black man. So until he was 30, he had been through all kinds of, doctor's appointments, all kinds of specialists. They did come across a physical therapist who was a black man. That's important too, I promise. Who actually, after years of working with Derek, was able to teach him how to walk. So I want to say that Derek was, I think he was like in his teen years or even maybe 20s before he even learned how to walk. But that physical therapist was able to teach him how to walk. Hey, James, how you doing? He was still nonverbal, and he still, wore a diaper. He wasn't able to feed himself. His mother, who I'm just going to call her Dukes, because, that's what my kids call me. So Dukes, she's hands-on. This is her son, 30 years. We had a brother named John, who was a normal guy. John is a suit and tie kind of guy. All right. So these are the two people that have been taking care of him for 30 years. All right. So Derek's extent of communication at this point had been when he was hungry, he would like bang on the table or bang on the refrigerator. And then they said that when they would go to church, because Dukes was a church-going woman, he would enjoy the music. Like he would sway back and forth like Stevie Wonder. So like he really enjoyed, the church music. But that was like the extent of his communication. That's it. So then the brother John comes across this, it was Frontline or 60 Minutes, Dateline, one of those shows, where it showed this program that was happening from a college professor and her team. Like, I don't know if she led it, but she was involved, where they had this keyboard, And it wasn't a traditional keyboard like, you know, we have on our computers. It was a little smaller, a little different. But they had a program where they were teaching other people like Derek how to communicate by punching on this keypad. And it had been successful with this one woman in particular. They highlighted her in the Frontline documentary. It worked for her, and she was able to communicate well enough to go to college. She got a master's degree. She became an author, and so all kinds of things. So this woman, I was able to make because of this machine. So John thought this was great. Let's see if I can get my brother involved. It would be great, you know what I'm saying, to see if there is something in there that, you know, we could communicate with us. So they sent him to this program off to the Professor Anna Stubblefield. Anna Stubblefield. All right. So they're getting back good reports from her as time is going by. You know, it was a little rough in the beginning, but as time is going on, she's giving the Dukes great reports. You know, he's really learning this thing, and she's showing them evidence to look at what he did, and there is really someone in there that's trying to, you know, that's getting out through us. Derek became so fluent on this machine that he was able to take a college class, and he wrote a paper, and he spoke at engagements. Now, mind you, when he was doing all these things, she was right there every step of the way because Derek couldn't hold his own hand to the machine. They have people that guide, because some people have, you know, they shake and they can't quite put their fingers on the machine. So they have people that guide their hand. It's kind of like a Ouija board. So the whole time that he's, you know, ever learning and becoming more and more, he's a poet, you know, he's writing poetry, and you know, he's becoming this charming man and whatnot. You know, like I said, he spoke in front of some people at college with the whatnots about, you know, his issues with what he's got going on with his body and his communication and all that. So this went on for a couple of years. And so Dukes and the brother John are thinking, great. You know what I'm saying? This is great. There really is someone in there. Maybe he can, you know, have some form of normalcy and self-pleasure or whatever. That's what's going on. So after a couple of years go by, the mother is starting to notice that Anna is snapping at her in ways that she don't appreciate. Like one day, Anna told Dukes, you know, that Derek is a vegetarian and he don't eat meat no more. Then she went on to tell the mom one day, and the brother occasionally would have a beer with Derek. I guess I don't know. You have to, just every now and then he would have a beer with him. But then the professor was like, no, he don't drink beer. He don't like beer. He likes red wine. And John was like, he does the fuck not like red wine. He spits it out at church. So, like, it was just a little weird shit like that where she was trying to take control over Derek. I think the cringiest thing about this woman was that she called him Demand. And the reason why she called him Demand is because his physical therapist, the black man that I told you about a few minutes ago, that helped him learn how to walk, used to call him D-Man. Congratulations, D-Man. Up top, D-Man. You got it, D-Man. But this bitch is calling him Demand. Demand. It's Demand. It was Demand. It's very cringy to hear her say it. Anyway. And she still called him that. She's never called him Derek through the whole thing. So this is going on, la, la, la. So one day, they come over for lunch. She comes over for lunch. And they're sitting at the table, the mother, the brother, Derek, and the professor. And they're thinking, you know, it's a little update. She used to give them updates all the time with his progress. She leans over and she goes, should I tell them or should you? Kind of thing. And the mother's like, what y'all got going on? What the fuck? And she goes, well, we're in love. And I'm going to divorce my husband. And we are going to run off and start a life together. Yes, the professor has a husband, a black man. This is a white lady we're talking about. And she has 2 children with her husband. Okay. But she has decided that she's divorcing her husband and she's running off with Derek and they're gonna live happily ever after. And they were like, that's a nice white lady. Hee. Okay, goodbye. And then they just stopped answering her phone calls. They stopped letting her son go there. This lady's out of her mind. She went and she told them that she's had sex with him, which is ridiculous. It's cringy as fuck. They're like, what are you saying to me? You've been fucking my son this whole time? Like, what? She's arguing with there's voicemails that she's left where she's insisting that, he's this intelligent man inside and she's the only one that can help him communicate. And, he's gone, he's made all this great strides in life and it would be a shame if they took him away from the program, like all this bullshit. Then she left one cringy ass voicemail that they actually play for you in the documentary, saying that she's putting it in blood, that she's going to divorce her husband and start a new life with Derek, and they'll start a family. James, what? Why? What is she doing with this? Okay. All right. So then the mother doesn't know what to do with this information. Like, I sent my son, who is nonverbal, can't feed himself, wears a diaper, just learned how to walk not that long ago, can't communicate with me in 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's little ways that she communicates with her son, but none of them are verbal. Now, all of a sudden, he met this white lady, and she came in to save my son type shit. And not only are you coming off like you saved my son, but now you're telling me that my son don't like this and don't like that. And you know more than I do about my son. Bitch, are you... So the mother is like, John, to the other brother John, what are we going to do with this? She won't go away. She keeps calling the house, sending emails. She's insisting that they bring him back to the program. They're in love and blah, blah, blah. She's never met a man like him. All this wild stuff. So Dukes hits up a lawyer and talks to a lawyer. What's up, Westside? How you doing? Talks to a lawyer and asks the lawyer, what is it that I should do? This woman has been having sex, with my sweet baby. The lawyer's like, call the police, bitch. Call it out. So she calls the police. The police tell her, listen, at this point, we don't really got much to go on. The machine that they use to type on is actually recorded. So everything they ever typed on the machine is in a database. So there's that. They have that to go on. But other than that, so they're like, try to, get her to admit some shit on the phone call. Dukes is like, okay. So now, mind you, they haven't talked to this lady in a minute. They've been avoiding her calls. They've been avoiding her emails. Bitch, go away. So one day Dukes calls her up, and I guess Anna was so excited, or dingy maybe, to realize that she was being set up with these questions that they were asking her on this phone call. But she let loose, man. She told all the details about how they had sex, how many times they had sex, where they had sex. She giggled and shit all about it like they were on a date. Like all this crazy details of their sexcapades. She was convicted of double... Let me look it up. I don't want to lie on this bitch. Let me look. It was double sexual assault, I believe. Oh, wait. I had it pulled up right here. Let me look. Yeah, right here. 2 counts of first-degree aggravated sexual assault, which she was sentenced to two 12-year prison terms to run together. So she was sentenced to 12 years. Yeah, for 2 sexual... Okay, right? In 2015. But then she appealed it. And they got it overturned. You heard? They got it overturned. She served 2 years. She served 2 years. Okay? So at the end of this documentary, they break out with the psychiatrist that they found who specializes in this kind of thing. He had no knowledge of them or the case or the professor or any of that shit. They reached out to him because he didn't know any of that, and he was in the field. He was a what's the word I'm looking for? Can y'all hear that music in the background? Special. It was a special. It was a specialist. Okay. So they have the psychiatrist work with Derek, talk to Derek, have a couple of sessions with Derek, alone and with the machine. Dude determines that Derek, in his brain, is either between 6 months old, 6 months and 1 year. Derek cannot communicate whatsoever. He never typed a fucking thing on the machine, whether you held his hand or not. Everything that was typed on that machine was her. She was typing to herself. She created a man in this body. It's a body of a man, but the mind of a 1-year-old. That's not even a child yet. That is an infant. This man has the mind of an infant. And you took advantage of him this way, every possible way, sexually, mentally. You messed with his family. Like, if it would have been, the roles would have been reversed, and that would have been a girl, and the professor would have been a man, that man would have probably done life in prison without a doubt. That shit was cringe as fuck. This man has the mental capacity of a 1-year-old. Have y'all ever been around a 1-year-old? Anyone? Okay, I know you have. I know you've seen one. Take that brain out of that 1-year-old and put it in the body of a 30-year-old man. It's still it's a baby, bitch. And you created and invented this perfect, charming man who was sending you flowers and writing you poetry and writing other, planning to run away with you and telling you how he wants you to touch on him. Bitch, the man can't, he drools. You realize she had to take his diaper off in order to have sex with him. Like, what are you saying to me right now, bitch? What? If this man were a woman, a 30-year-old woman in the same position, I was so upset when I found out that she only did 2 years. So angry. 2 years? Are you kidding me? So now afterwards, Derek, who, like I said, has the mind of a 1-year-old, because she was, having sex with him, the brother said, it took him a while and some medication. And he was vigorously masturbating anywhere they would go. He's just jacking off all the time. Because that lady, was touching on his, now he knows what to do. And he wanted to do, he's won. Her, on the other hand, she can't work as a teacher anymore. Thank you. She also said that her life, she's just a waitress, but then she often gets fired because people recognize her, call her out. She gets fired. Y'all got to watch this thing. It's so cringe to watch. All the different layers and different aspects of this white lady. Like, and every time you heard her say demand, man, I wanted to fight that lady. 2 years. Don't y'all think 2 years is not enough? I think 12 years was not enough. She sexually assaulted a baby. He's a baby. The brother said one day when they were changing his diaper, they noticed that he had some, they called them strawberries on his back. And they didn't know where they came from. So they called the school, asked, did he get into a fight or did he fall or anything? They're like, no. They're like, well, he's got these weird things on his back. We don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah, later they determined that it was rug burn. She had a whole mat in her office that she had brought into the office, yoga mat with a blanket. She had it in her office and she rolled it out whenever they were there, and she would lay him down flat and do her thing until he had rug burn to a 1-year-old. Yeah, Wes. Hell no, it's right. You should go watch it, man. It's the way she was coming at the mother too. That's a whole nother layer. Like the way she was talking at this black woman, like, bitch, you don't know shit. I know everything. And then, bitch, you don't know shit. I know everything about your son. Like the layers of the disrespect, man, towards the family. The brother, you know, the brother's an educated man, suit and tie kind of guy, and yeah, he wanted to fight that bitch. Everybody wanted to fuck that bitch up, man. You could just see it in their faces. And whoo, when she sat down at their table and told them that she was sleeping with her son, and she said it took everything in her not to. Woo, Jesus. She was like, okay, get on out of here, and that's it. I'll never see you again, bitch. You'll never see my son again. But she was trying to even go around the back door to try to get some sort of custody of him. Like she was trying to make it seem like they weren't taking care of him as good as she could. She reached out to somebody, I can't remember, watch the documentary, to try to even go around them, to try to get custody of this fool. Completely obsessed. Derek ain't said a word since. He ain't typed out no words, bitch, since you left. You got some magical powers over Derek? You think if Derek could type, he would be typing, where's my bitch? Good Lord. He ain't typing nothing. No words, nothing. He never did. Weird, man. She created a whole man inside this shell. An ideal man for her. A dream man for her. And she didn't care what the body looked like. And she was really about to take this man. I swear, if the mother would have gave some more pushback, she might have kidnapped this dude and ran off somewhere. Talking about, he's 30. You can't do shit. He's my man. Thank you for my man. Meanwhile, whole husband at the house. Ugh. What's up, Love Me Pro? How you doing? Did you watch this documentary? You should watch it. You see my face, right? Oh, man. Man. I was just checking on y'all, and I figured since I haven't been live in so long, the longer I stay away, the longer I want to stay away. You know how I do. But I saw this on Friday and couldn't be silent. All y'all need to watch this and be aware of this. If y'all see this lady, she lives off in New York, Jersey, up that way. Punch her in the eye, or at least throw a tomato at her, a real life tomato. Boo! You should watch it, Love Me Fro. I just talked all about it. If you didn't hear me, I won't re-talk about it because I don't want to ruin it for you. You got to watch it. Like, seriously. It's wild. It's a wild ride, man. Other than that, what y'all been up to? Anything interesting lately? Anything? Not much of nothing up in here. My grandboy's getting bigger and bigger, boy. He's talking a lot of shit. Yeah, yep. I've been binge watching so many movies, y'all. And I had started a list a while ago. I was just gonna. I have words. I wrote down a list, and I would just write. And every time I watch a new movie, I would just write on the list. And I had a big ass list. I don't even know where it went. And then I just kind of gave up on it, and I lost it. And then I don't know. But I've been binge watching movies, y'all. This YouTube stuff, man, it's definitely not as fun as I thought it would be. It can be. It has its moments, you know. But yeah, it seems as if, you know, people don't recognize you unless you're toxic. Yeah, that is all. And being toxic to me is so easy. It's easy to hit this little button right here and just start talking about everybody's flaws and shortcomings and add 100 on it and call CPS and like all that shit is. I don't want to be part of that. I love a good roast. There's a difference between roast and having roasts, and the other shit today. It's just too much. It's too much. I'm gonna have to find a new app, I think. For real. Wes be acting all funny and shit in public. Mhm. I'm gonna start telling all your business, Wes. I'm gonna start telling all y'all business. I don't know any, but I'll make some shit up. That seems to be what you do around here. You make shit up. I'll make up some shit about you, Wes. I got some emails. I'll doctor them shits up. They'll be like, look, look, look. I enjoy a good storyline. Don't get me wrong. Um, YouTube is pretty much just like soap operas. Back when my mom used to watch like Days of Our Lives and Carrying On. Well, YouTube is just another, if you find a good storyline, but so many of the storylines in the places I go are just dry. Like it's just dry. Like y'all still talking about this motherfucker? Like still, you're still on that? Ugh. Love Me Fro. Go watch this. You got to watch it. Oh, you know what else I watched? Oh my goodness. Maybe I should do a separate live stream for that. I really don't have to. Not really. I watched Bratz. That on Hulu. On Hulu. Bratz, about the Brat Pack. The white kids from the 80s, actors from the 80s. Yeah, watch that crap. Andrew McCarthy. If you don't know who that is, he was in Pretty in Pink. He was the love interest. He was, the Brat Pack was Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, Ali Sheedy, Molly Ringwald, and a couple more folks. And then there was all kinds of Brat adjacents. Y'all remember in the 80s, like if you were alive, the movies in the 80s, there was just a bunch of white teenage situations going on, whether it was Footloose or, Risky Business or Weird Science or, all the John Hughes movies, So Andrew made a documentary based on the fact that they were called the Brat Pack. That was the whole purpose of the documentary. And he was telling us, the people, the impact that it had on them personally as being labeled this Brat Pack. So the beginning of the documentary starts you off with how they even got labeled that to begin with. And it came from this one journalist who did an interview with Emilio Estevez. And after he did that interview with Emilio Estevez, he wrote an article and he called them the Brat Pack. Right? That's how the documentary starts. This is how they got their name. From this one particular guy who wrote an article. All right. So he goes around, he calls everybody up. Andrew does. He calls everybody up. You want to be in the documentary? You want to be in the documentary? Most of the people said, fuck no. Most of them said no. Demi Moore was in it. Emilio was in it. That one guy, I never can remember his name because he was adjacent anyway. He was in it. Ali Sheedy was in it. That's it. I believe I'm remembering everybody. Yeah, I think that's it. So he goes around and he talks, about how him himself, that he feels like being labeled a brat from the Brat Pack. It hurt their careers because they weren't taken seriously in the music industry, movie industry at the time. They were just kind of patted on the top of the head like they were children. They weren't taken as serious actors, even though some of them went through, hella training and whatever. So, and people often thought that they hung together, off screen, like they were clubbing together and they were going around LA at these parties, and they were not. They didn't at all. But then on the flip side of the coin, because they were labeled the Brat Pack, they were always in the public eye, and it kept them, relevant. Okay. So then he talks to Emilio. Emilio tells his story, how he feels, and, Demi Moore, Ally Sheedy. So all of them are saying similar things. Like they weren't really taken seriously after that article came out. They were pat on the head. And then, all the Brat adjacents came along, and, all that. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It felt like they were lumped up into this group that they didn't ask for. They didn't ask for. There's some anger there. There's even people, some of the people they call, I think Judd Nelson was like, what did he say? Oh, he said, let's just leave it in the past. Let the past be in the past. Molly Ringwald said similar thing, let the past be in the past. Like they don't want to talk about it. So finally, at the end of this documentary, this buildup of how this punk motherfucker who wrote this article, pretty much changed the trajectory of their careers forever. Finally, we get an interview with this fucker. He showed up for the goddamn documentary. He's at the end of it. Finally, this is the fucker that started the whole shit right here. Do you know Andrew had zero smoke for this man? Not even a hint, not even a puff of smoke. He had his legs crossed, his hand on his chin. I was giggling a little. I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I was pissed off. You brought zero smoke. You could have put Judd on the speakerphone. You could have put Emilio on the speakerphone. We wanted to see some smoke. There was no smoke for this man. And so Andrew goes, if you could do it all over again, would you take the article down? Would you have taken the article down? And this fool goes, hell no. Without the article, his career wouldn't be what it is now. Like he's like, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, I did it. And what you gonna do? Glad I did it. And Andrew's like, oh, I wanted to see some smoke. This is the dude that did it to you. You got him here all these years later. Nobody else came with you. Nobody wanted to face him, just you. So you're going to be the voice of everybody right now. For the most part, you're the only one that showed up to interview this fool. I wanted some smoke, man. I wanted some smoke. So, Holly, how you doing? Wes, you should watch it. Wes, you wouldn't watch it. You're a dude. You're a dude. Dudes you wouldn't watch it. The only movie that dudes liked back then was Top Gun. That's it for y'all. Top Gun. The rest of that shit, y'all didn't care for none of that shit. Maybe a little Weird Science because there was tits and ass in that one. But the rest of that crap, y'all know nothing about. I know. Uh-huh. Holly, did you see this documentary that I was originally talking about, but I didn't talk all about it, so now I'm on other shit called Tell Them You Love Me over on the Netflix? Oh, Holly, if you haven't, I suggest, oh, ma'am, please do. You will be so angry, and there will be layers of anger. You will find different ways to be angry. It won't just be one, oh, this is really pissing me off. You're like, what? And then back down to what? And then over here, like, what? All of that. You're going to have all those different what? All of them. The different levels of what? Jesus. I think it's interesting, though, and how her brain made that happen. Like, It's obvious she was unhappy in her marriage, right? I guess I don't know, she saw this shell of a person that she could completely control. She could completely control what he said to her, how he felt about her. She had him writing her poetry and sending her flowers and all this kind of crazy shit. He was real charming. Hey Muffy, how you doing? It was her the whole time. Like, so she fell in love with herself. She created the perfect man in her mind, what the perfect man would be, in this body of a man who has a brain of a 1-year-old. He has the capacity of a 1-year-old. And then you had sex with him. You laid him down on the floor, and took his diaper off, cleaned him up, and you had sex with him. And you put his diaper back on, wiped the drool off his chin, and sent him fuck back home with his mother. It's a good watch. Muffy, you should go watch it. Mm-hmm. And that Bratz crap. Ooh, I was mad. I'm telling you, I was mad. When I didn't think it would show up. The documentary doesn't tell you that the dude who actually wrote the Bratz article was going to show up. You didn't know. You were halfway hoping that Judd would show up or Molly would show up. They didn't. You're like, oh. So you damn sure didn't think the dude who actually wrote the article would show up. And then when he did, you're like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the fucking guy? Nope. None. Nope. Disappointing. Muffy, it's the title. It's called Tell Them You Love Me. And it's on Netflix. It's a documentary. It's not a movie. About a man named Derek Johnson, who was born with cerebral palsy, nonverbal, didn't walk, couldn't talk, can't feed himself. Eventually, he was taught to walk. I think he was I want to say he was late teens, early 20s before he was actually able to walk. But he was still in a diaper. He's in a diaper right now. Nonverbal still right now. But they, the brother, he had a brother who was just normal. Saw a documentary about this program that they had with these machines, kind of like a keyboard but smaller, with symbols and shit on it, that was helping people like Derek to speak, to communicate. They took him down to the program, and the white lady who was a professor, was working with him. Now they guide your hand, because a lot of people with cerebral palsy and other things, their hands twitch and shake, and they can't type the buttons on their own. So they have someone hold their wrists and guide their hand like a Ouija board over the keyboard. Derek started writing college papers and poetry and shit. And he started, all of a sudden, he was, extremely literate. He was speaking in college engagements and taking classes. She was there the whole time holding his wrist. But yeah, he all of a sudden got, intelligent. And then one day he wanted to kiss her. And the next thing you know, she's having sex with this dude. Then one day she takes him home and tells the family, me and Derek is about to run away together. We're in love. We've been fucking. The family was, bitch, have you lost your fucking mind, white bitch? Yeah, ultimately her ass got sentenced to 2 12-year sentences for aggravated sexual assault. 2 12-year terms to run together. But she appealed it and only did 2 years. Had that have been a girl and a man taking advantage, what? This bitch had a yoga mat and a blanket in her office, and she would lay down on the floor and lay Derek down and have sex with him, take his diaper off. God damn it. 2 years. She only did 2 years. Derek ain't said a word since. Derek ain't said a word since they had a specialist that came in who didn't know shit about Derek or none of that shit. Worked with him on the machine, determined that Derek's mental capacity is out of a 6 months to a 1-year-old baby. He never typed a fucking word. She was typing to herself the whole time. The college paper she was writing, it was her the whole time. Talking about she about to run away with my son and start a life. Bitch, are you crazy? Yeah, it's a true story, let me throw. It's a documentary, girl. She absolutely took advantage of him, Holly. Something to think about. Nix, I was talking about this documentary that I saw on the Netflix the other day. Yeah, she absolutely took advantage of him. Uh, uh, when I was watching it, and I thought, I gave it a think after I watched it and stopped being mad. Because, like I said, there's layers. There's the white bitch coming in, telling this black woman what's best for her son, or what he doesn't want, what he does want, as if she don't fucking know her own son. There was that aspect, Then there was the fact that she was, propping him up, if you will, to further her own career. There's that aspect. Then there's the whole, she was raping him. There's layers. There's layers. Then she went even backdoor around the family, tried to get custody of him. Said the family, he would be better off with her. Like, she was doing all kinds of crazy shit. She was leaving crazy voicemails on the machine. Talk about, I'm about to divorce my husband, and then me and Derek are going to run off and start a life together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Holly, Derek is black. Everybody involved is black except for the professor bitch who took advantage of him. Uh-huh. She was happy as shit. Like I said earlier, Holly, she one day she had been telling the family, which is just his mother and brother, of his progress, and he's doing great, all these speaking engagements things. And then one day she just came over and said, me and Derek are in love and we're running away. I'm sorry, not running away. I don't want to say that. We're setting up shop. We're about to get our own crib. And the mother was like, okay, ma'am, we'll talk to you next week. Goodbye. And had her leave, and they never fucking answered the phone again. Bitch, what are you talking about? And that's when she started to try to go back door and get custody of him. When they stopped letting him come to the school and they stopped answering her phone calls. That's when she left that message. She said, this is a blood oath. But she said blood. I think she said blood oath. Blood. I'm writing it in blood. Then I'm going to divorce my husband. And me and Derek are going to be happy together. Bitch, what are you talking about? Shit was wild. The shit is wild. The shit is wild, man. When that psychiatrist came in and told them that, for the court's purposes, that this man had the mental capacity of a 6-month-old, all I could think about was my grandbaby. You know what I'm saying? If some bitch trying to take advantage of my grandbaby, that's his mindset, like a 1-year-old mindset. And just because it's in a man's body. And someone who works in that field should know that. So what's going on in her psyche? What happened to her brain? What happened? Like, she was this established professor. She had a husband and some kids, a black husband and some kids. Like, I don't understand. Like, she really saw that she could overpower this person and have him all to herself, and he would say what she wanted, and he would make her feel how she wanted to feel, and he couldn't say no. If she could actually get him in an apartment and they lived together, he would do exactly what she wanted, when she wanted it, how she wanted it. You understand? Like, what is wrong with you, bitch? The man is in diapers He drools. He can't speak. The mother said that the gist of his communication is banging on the table or banging on the refrigerator when he's hungry. And then at church, swaying back and forth, he really enjoys the music. They was having lunch one day and they invited her ass over. And the mom had cooked, I think she said chicken. Don't quote me, but I believe it was some form of meat, and I believe it was chicken. They was about to eat, and the bitch told the mother, no. He don't eat, he don't like chicken. He's a vegetarian now. They were like, bitch, what? You been tearing my chicken up, bitch. What are you talking about? I'm like, what? He's been eating this shit for 30 years, bitch. And you came up in here and made him a vegan and shit. The fuck? It's an interesting watch, man. Like I said, there's so many different layers to this shit, man. It was wild. It was wild to watch. I had to pause it a couple times and call my daughter and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Listen to me, man. I need intelligence. I married my ex-husband is an ugly motherfucker. All right, he is one unattractive dude. There's no getting around it. There's no filter. This is an ugly motherfucker. All right. I married him because he was so fucking smart, so intelligent that he is sexy to me. You understand? Like his brain superseded all that other shit. But if inside his brain was a 1-year-old, like I would have never given him a second thought. Like who looks at someone in a diaper that's drooling that can't talk and goes, "That's the man for me. That's the man for me. I'm gonna bust up my household. I'm gonna bust up their household. I'm gonna jeopardize my career because this is the man for me." Layers, y'all, layers. Layers. Mm-hmm. I was trying to put in a whole hour. Y'all know I'm ready to run. I've been ready to run. I just felt like I'd let y'all know I'm still alive. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I know I see some of y'all here and there, but oh, that's Nixon. Oh, that's L. Nixon. Hey, woo! Listen, L. Nixon. I smoke a lot of reefer, sir. And I'm old as shit. So, yeah, no, he's probably left. But hey, L. Nixon. What you talking about, Wes? Oh, what's the weather like out y'all way, man? Wherever y'all, whatever neck of the woods you're in. I'll tell you what it's like here. It's hot as balls. That's the degrees. Is hot as balls. And a big girl, we don't fuck around. A big girl like me, I don't fuck around with the heat at all. And I'm extremely white, so I don't fuck around with the sun at all. So yeah, I'm in a dark room with air conditioning and fans, and it's real vampire like up in here because that's how I roll. This copyright music is whack. The cover art's pretty though. What y'all been seeing in these streets, these YouTube streets? Shit's been wild. Man, it depends on where you go. What sector you're in. What sector you go to. Is that right, you Holly? I see you deleted it. I don't know if another one did or not. I know that the documentary reflected her looking lonely as shit, trying to keep a job as a waitress because everybody recognizes her everywhere she goes, and they fire her shit. Oh wait, and they said she got a job. I remember. I'm sorry, I forgot. She got a job from home. like online. So some from home shit. She might be calling your shit right now, telling you, oh, a Spectrum bill. Oh, I know, Holly. I know. She thinks that, he's still in there. That, that's the love of her life. People be crazy as shit, man. Like her cheese legit slid off their cracker. Her cheese slid off her fucking cracker. Like I'm trying to imagine, I'm going about my life, successful, and then I don't know. Good Lord. A diaper though? Like I have to. He was giving that man rug burns on his back. Was giving that man rug burns on his back by putting him on the floor in her office and just grinding him down to a fucking nub. You nasty bitch. For real, Wes. Shit. I wonder if secretly his brother, when nobody's around, is like, at least you got you some pussy. You think? Because I know brothers do that with each other. His brother's like, you got you some ass. Maybe. I don't know. Y'all should go watch that Bratz shit too. It's on Hulu. Ooh, I watched this movie the other day. It was pretty good. What was it called? Damn, I forget. All that shit will be melting together for me, man. I'll see these movies and I won't remember the name of them. Especially if I binge watching movies, like I'll watch like 3 or 4 movies in a day, or I'll start a movie and watch like part of it and be like, this is some bullshit, and it'll kind of blend together. Jesus Christ, it's a lot going on. But yeah, this one had me so angry. And then the program that they were using, with the keypad, there's a whole name for it. It's like communication, something, something, something. I think because of this or whatever, yeah, they don't use that shit no more. It's not recognized in a lot of places. But it has helped some people. It has helped a few people. But I think it only helps the people who can actually touch the shit on their own. Like if you have to be guided, like if somebody has to hold your elbow or hold your wrist or even hold your sleeve to guide your hand across that keyboard, how much of that do we really know is them, or how much of it is you, you know? So I think it's only really successful for the people that can actually use it on their own. What's up, Dre? How you doing? Talking about this documentary. You should watch it. I don't know what I'm going to watch next. I'm all out of. I scroll these movie apps and they're all whack. Hulu sucks. I like Hulu for shows mostly. Netflix, all the movies suck right now. The stand-ups are ass. Tubi's cool, but I don't like to watch all them ads. The ads, I don't mind. Sometimes I don't mind. But Tubi, you'll find a movie you ain't seen in a while. You're like, oh shit, it's on fucking Tubi. And then Disney, like if you pretty much seen them all already until they finally come out with a new one. Um, you know, yup. Like I haven't really been into movies lately either. Movies suck too. I've been on TikTok over there. That's where I've been. Been over there on the TikTok, man. It's some funny shit over there, man, and some begging. It's just a lot of begging. TikTok is just a lot of. You'll see, like if you go there for something specific, if you're looking for a recipe or you know a specific person that's a comedian or other than that, it's just a bunch of people begging. I'm so like seriously begging. They ain't shy. There's people that make up shit. There's this couple. Now I know damn well they ain't homeless. I just know it. I can feel it. I can see it. Some of their backgrounds and shit. It's not. You just are outside in your mom's backyard, bitch. I just know it. Begging on TikTok for money. That's what TikTok is. People beg. Everybody's about to go to the hospital. Everybody is starving. Everybody's living in their car. Everybody just got all their shit put out. They don't know where they're gonna live. They need hotel fare. Everybody. They just beg over there. But if you can weed through the begging, there's some pretty funny shit over there. If you can weed through the begging, oh, you got to hit that not interested. You're hitting it a lot. Hey, that girl, Ed, how you doing? Did you like If? I want to see If. I also want to see Inside Out Part 2. I liked Part 1. I love kids movies. I don't need a grandbaby to watch that shit. I'll watch them without them. I prefer it to watch without them. That way I'll actually be able to watch it. And then I'll rewatch it with them. And then I can be like, shh, watch this part, watch this. There was another one that came out recently too I wanted to watch. I forget what it was called. But yeah, I want to see If. If looks cute. $18 a day. Girl, take your ass to bed. Unless you're at work right now. 18 hours a day? God damn. I'm trying to think of anything that I would do for 18 hours a day. Oh, man, it'd have to be, I guess, like money's involved. Jesus. Did you like it, Holly? Good. I like the first one a lot. Good, good, good. I can't wait to see it. I let my Disney lapse. I'm gonna have to get my friend's code. I never watch it. My grandbaby don't like none of that shit. After I watched, I told y'all before that I never really watched any Marvel movies. And then one day my friend was like, "Bitch, you're watching," and I'm like, "Fine." He gave me his code, and I binge watched like all of them. Ah. Me, not no grandbaby involved, just I. Some of them I liked, others than others, better than others. But they got a whole Pixar, Disney section. He don't give a shit about none of it. He don't like none of it. Cars was the only thing I could get him to kind of sort of watch. The rest of that shit, he don't give a fuck. Where the dinosaurs at? That's all he cares about. Dinosaurs. He knows this boy is 2. And he could name, like, I would say at least 8 dinosaurs. It's funny when he says them, but, he's Parasaurolophus. He's saying that shit. Parasaurolophus. T-Rex. He can say that. That was the first thing. But yeah, I watched that shit without the grand boy. He don't give a shit. I watched that Handmaid's Tale. Did any of y'all watch that? Are they going to ever make another season? What did I miss it? Did I sleep? You know what, Holly? I was watching this whole thing I think it was yesterday. It was a short about why little boys like T Rexes. This lady, some sort of doctor with kids, psychiatrist, pediatrician, whatever. She said if you notice little kids, like babies, their pajamas or their, like their animals or whatever, shit that matches, that the boys, it's usually T Rexes, wolves, and sharks. Sharks, T Rexes, and wolves is usually the patterns or, little whatever for the boys. And then with the girls, they do rabbits, llamas for the weird reason, and things like guinea pigs and things like that. And she said if you notice that all the boys' animals are predators and all the girls' animals are prey. I was like, holy shit. And so I really sat back and thought about it. Holy shit. Holy shit, Holly. Holy shit. Holy shit, Holly. What's up, Sean? How you doing? I was talking about this documentary. I ain't talking about it no more. Go watch it. It's the title of the video. It's on Netflix. It's very interesting and angering. Ain't that crazy, Holly? All the predators be on the boys' jammies, and all the prey be on the girls' jammies. And the girls, they have bunnies and fucking. I have lately seen llamas on some pajama bottoms. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. And then, kittens and guinea pigs and. All right, I put my hour in. I'm trying to get me a little watch time hours. Try to go live. I just want to see if some of y'all were still alive. Let y'all know, hi, I'm still alive too. Hey. I do suggest this documentary, man. I love documentaries. They're my jam. I started my whole little YouTube dreams with the documentary Don't Fuck with Cats. If you haven't seen that one, I still suggest that one. Don't Fuck with Cats. That's a crazy documentary. Yeah, this is a good one. It's going to piss you off in many ways. Like I said, there's many layers. Yep, they're starting off, Holly, from the pajamas on up. As soon as they're little, they're already starting. They're already starting. Subliminally teaching them how to be predators through their pajamas and toys. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll tell you what has happened to me since last we've spoken, and it's the reason why it's taken me so long to go live again. To be honest, sorry, y'all, blowing up. I'm an older woman, you know what I'm saying? And in case y'all didn't know, let me give y'all a little story time before we get on out of here. When you turn 40, there's this little switch that gets hit inside. It just gets flipped inside you. It just does. I'm sorry. Sometimes a little bit before 40, but definitely by the time you're 40. And it's the you don't give a fuck switch. Now, when I say that it's you don't give a fuck switch, you might be like, well, I already didn't give a fuck. Yes, you did. When I say the you don't give a fuck switch, I mean, like, before you wouldn't leave the house unless your hair was done, your makeup was done, everything was done. And at 40, you will go pick up your kid in your motherfucking pajamas. You understand? So there is this level of you don't give a fuck once 40 comes around, all right? I promise you, it'll hit you. If it hasn't, you're a freak of fucking nature. So by the time you're 50, it's a little bit brighter. Okay. That's my understanding of my body. Now, I will tell you that I already had the I don't give a fuck gene in my DNA due to the fact that I come from a long line of hardcore Irish alcoholics. All right, so I already had the you're just natural, just I didn't give a fuck. So now that I'm 53, I have like 0 to no edit button. Like I have like no censor. I have like my filter is real particular. Like I have a real, like it's really, I really don't give a fuck. Like I really don't give a fuck. I say all that to say this. I don't want to be yelling and screaming and fighting with people on YouTube. That's not why I came to YouTube. I didn't come here to be putting people's dirt on my community wall and calling people's houses and screaming and yelling and telling you your pussy stinks. And like, I ain't doing none of that. I just don't want to do that. So because I know that I am going to smooth cuss a bitch out, I can't hit any links. I can't. I cannot. I can't. I won't. I will not hit link. I can't. I'm already right now on my own shit biting the fuck out of my tongue. Because I don't want to. I don't want to argue with people. I refuse to. And so because I know that if I hit your link, I am going to. Somebody's going to get cussed out. I just fuck if I sit up there for too long. I don't want to. In the words of my grandbaby, I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh my God, Holly. Oh. I hope you didn't watch that crap, Holly. Oh my God. Oh. See, I hate to even. Oh. It'll get trapped in my head. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much, that movie. Oh my God. There was another one I watched that stuck with me for a little bit. Oh God. There was a movie. What was the name of it? I just watched it the other day. It was an independent movie because none of the actors, you didn't know any of the actors, but it was this man. He was a photographer and he was taking pictures in the desert. Desert, as far as the eye could see, nothing but cactus and sand and in a paved road, right? So he had a paved road. So he pulled over and he's taking pictures, and it's near the Grand Canyon. He's in Arizona. It's near the Grand Canyon. And near cactus, he sees a young boy crying. And so he goes up to the boy in the sand further down by a cactus and asks him, and the boy's dirty and shit, slouched down, looking like he may be crying. And so he's like, what's up with you? Are you lost? Where are your parents? And he goes, I'm lost. I think my parents are that way. He was like, well, come on, I'll help you find them. So now he's following this kid through the desert. The kid's doing all these twists and turns, and at one point just takes off running. So now this fool's lost in the damn desert. Conk him on the head. He wakes up in a hole. A hole. There's no way out the damn hole except for this ladder that is welded into the side of the rock. This is a big ass like Grand Canyon hole. Like there's no way to climb out this bitch at all except for this ladder. But the people up top have taken the bottom part of the ladder up, so there's no way to get to the ladder at all. So down in this hole is nothing but a house made out of metal, a water pump coming out the ground. I don't know where the well is at all, and a lady who lives in the house. It's a creepy movie, man. It's a creepy movie. Oh man, I don't want to. What was the name of it? I can't remember the name of it. Hmm. More bottom of the line is her ass was born down there. She'd been down there her whole life, and her purpose is to mate and to have babies. And she has to have a girl because the mother who started it, is the queen, and there can be no new queen until a girl is born. So she has all these boys that are running around up top, and then also there's men because these men are part of their little cult also. And they're waiting for her to finally have a girl. So every now and then a weirdo gets lost in the woods, the desert, and they bring him down to the hole. She winds up having sex with him. And then once the baby comes, they kill him. They kill the man. So she finally had a girl. The movie was eerie and creepy, and it stayed with me for a few days like that Walrus crap did. It stayed with me for a few days. I think that was on Hulu. I forget what it's called. It was some creepy shit, man. Some creepy shit. All right, y'all. I don't talked enough about this shit. Like I said, there's many layers to this documentary that are going to anger you. Oh God, so many layers. Do watch it. It's on the Netflix. Tell me you love me. Tell them you love me. Documentary, true story. Derek Johnson. Check them out. Until next time, peace.